really the LGBT community has been the main focus of this hatred. There is a pipeline. It starts from some smaller accounts online, like Libs of TikTok. It moves to the right-wing blogosphere, and then it ends up on Tucker Carlson, or it ends up out of a right-wing politician's mouth. And it's a really dangerous cycle that does have real-world consequences.
You know, it's always best to wait until you know the truth before you jump into conclusion. And the reason I say this is because these news or even Twitter's scholars, these news reporters took the story that happened at the gay club Q and they ran with it and weaponized it to promote their political ideology and to wage war against those whom they disagree with. When I heard that, I said, how cruel, how disrespectful, how insensitive can you be? While families are hurting, there's a community that is still grappling with the pain of what took place. We're trying to make sense of the situation rather than to show compassion, love, and understanding and ministering to the pain of these individuals. You went on with your political rhetoric to blame other individuals. Before all the facts came out, it shows that you don't care about no gay people. You don't care about no LGBT persons. What you care about is your political agenda. What you care about is your political party. What you care about is your level of hatred for those whom you disagree with. So here are a few videos we're going to play right now of a number of things that were said before the rest of the story came out. All right, let's start with CNN. We got the Young Turks and we got The View. Listen to what they're saying. And now listen to the rest of the story.
We've spoken to there, members of the LGBTQ community. They have said that they believe that there's, where else could this point to? Again, we don't know the motive here. But can you talk to us about, and you said that it was a safe haven, right, for members of the LGBTQ community, the importance of our elected officials, our leaders, on social media, the importance of words and using members of the LGBTQ plus community as sort of political pawns in politics. Can you speak to that, please?
Absolutely. We are living at a time of rising hate and rising demonization. And all of us in leadership positions have to recognize that our words matter. We can and we must have a more inclusive we the people. That's a phrase that Justice Ginsburg used. The legitimization, I should say, of hating towards LGBTQ plus individuals has to stop.
Vices. If he's a consumer of the people we just rattled off, from Lauren Boebert to Tucker Carlson, let's get it out. Let's get it out at trial. Let's expose it for what it is, name it and shame it. He's a consumer of these people, and those people should face civil consequences from the victims.
Since April and March, really, the LGBT community has been the main focus of this hatred. There is a pipeline. It starts from some smaller accounts online, like Libs of TikTok. It moves to the right-wing blogosphere, and then it ends up on Tucker Carlson, or it ends up out of a right-wing politician's mouth. And it's a really dangerous cycle that does have real-world consequences.
He's a monstrous right-winger. He's a terrible, terrible person. Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, look, I'm jaywalking, I'm progressive. But I think we should all gay people are pedophiles and groomers, and we should all attack them and just do all these horrible things so we can goad our lunatic audience. And yes, Tim Pool, Matt Walsh, Tucker Carlson, you all have lunatics in your audience, and you weaponize them, and you know it. I mean, look at him. I'll finish the tweet to be fair. How do we prevent the violence and stop the grooming? He says. Oh, in other words, well, I didn't quite like the way he murdered all those people, but hey, I really like the fact that he attacked these people that I'm calling groomers based on nothing. I mean, he said in Club Q, had a grooming event. He said, it's not a goddamn grooming event, you monster. Okay, so what is a drag queen? A drag queen is someone who dresses in a way you don't like. Are you insane? Are you insane? Why do you care how they dress? Why do you care? It has nothing to do with kids.
It's been happening since last I saw you all. I mean, it's breaking my heart that we're starting once again with this kind of topic. The latest mass shooting in America was Saturday night in Colorado at an LGBTQ plus nightclub where 5 people were killed and at least 25 were injured. No motive has been released, but GLAAD and other activists are pointing fingers at the rise in anti-LGBTQ rhetoric and the political policies. And on other folks are saying, once again, an AR-15 style rifle was the weapon of choice. And I know the thing that I want to say is, this is what rhetoric brings. Words matter. Words matter. And people like Lauren Boebert, who, has been in the forefront of dissing LGBTQ plus people, is now saying her prayers and thoughts go with the families. Well, they don't really need your prayers and thoughts. They needed your votes. That's what they needed.
Yeah.
Now, just as you've heard, right? They went on to say all these things. What they're now finding out and what we are learning, and please listen to me, this is very near to my heart for a number of reasons. I lost a family member from this. Now, we can talk about the lifestyle all we want. This was a friend. This was someone I knew. This is impactful even for me. So when I see these guys doing these political talking points without having all the facts, not even considering the pain of these individuals, and they just want to run to just talk politics while neglecting the needs of others, it shows to me that they are cruel and disrespectful. And they are insensitive. What they care about is how I can weaponize this for my own means. Now, here is the rest of the story. And they should have waited for it.
Public defenders say, quote, Anderson Aldrich is non-binary. They use they, them pronouns. I don't know what to say about that. I mean, that's not anything that we had heard from his background. People have been looking into his background. And I don't know if anybody here, are you guys lawyers? I mean, I don't know if, I don't know what to say about that. I mean, that's what he's now.
See, I say that to say this. Because some lunatic took a gun and went and hurt other people, you should never use that as a political catalyst to promote an ideology that you can use as a weapon, as a rod against your opponent. Their pain and suffering, their trouble, their experiences, their sorrows should not be your weapon. Secondly, because somebody has done something that is, whether they identify as Republicans or Democrats or whatever, you cannot use the person's personal choice as a way to condemn a group of individuals whom you disagree with. For example, if a Muslim does something crazy, a Christian, a Catholic, or a Democrat or a Republican, I cannot say this is the result of their ideology simply. To make this statement is to neglect all the other factors who could play a role in that decision making. There are things that people say and do that are simply coming from their own personal decision and experience or pain. There are several different things that could lead to this. You should not jump the gun. You should not jump into conclusion. You should actually focus on the people who are hurting and ministering to their needs. You should think about that and try to meet them where they are. But here's another thing. Have you noticed that the Walmart mass shooter did not get nearly the same attention as did the Colorado shooter and the LGBT persons who passed away? Why is that? Why do politicians promote one things that appeal to their agenda and demote another that does not line up with their story? Is it because you care about people, or is it because you care about your own political agenda? The pain of individuals should not be used as a political stunt to carry out your dirty deeds against your enemy. What is wrong with you? You lack common sense or what? Do you think some of us who are listening are stupid? Do you think we're not paying attention? We're not reasoning from cause to effect? Well, some of us are paying attention. And we can see your rhetoric. And again, to sit there and say Christians are responsible for this, you are out of your mind. Christians have a duty to preach the gospel. Because a Christian calls something evil doesn't mean they are wishing evil on someone. Because we expose iniquity and sin doesn't mean we hate homosexuals or we hate the person who is guilty of that particular sin. You have to keep in mind, all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. So nobody's perfect here. No matter how well we preach and how hard we try to share the gospel with somebody else, our job is never to condemn any individual, regardless of who they are. But our goal is to expose the evil that is in them in the hope that they can see their need for the gospel of Jesus Christ. It is a biblical method. That's how Jesus did it. To say that homosexuality is a sin doesn't mean you are calling for violence against homosexuals. To expose the sin of any group of individuals or any person doesn't necessarily mean you want death or you wishing evil to come upon them. To say that is hate speech. That's really, that is a deranged mentality that you have to think that people who say stuff such as doing the gospel's work are calling for death on others. Are you out of your mind or what? But these people, like I've said before, they don't care about LGBT people. What they care about is themselves. They don't care about the sinner. They don't care whether they go to hell or heaven. They could care less. What they care about are those clicks, the views. What they care about is pushing forward what matters to them. They don't care about the souls of these individuals. And this is why we got to be careful with their rhetoric. Thank you for listening, friends. Have a good one. Bye.